Alright, welcome. You are in... Alright, welcome. So, I'm currently in my studio, aka the corner of the bedroom. And today what I'm going to do is I've put together some clips from the Adare round the other day. And I wanted to tell you roughly what I shot, what my stats were. And I've pulled together some drivers, some like approach play and stuff around the greens to really talk about in a bit more detail exactly what I need to work on, and you'll get an idea of how my game actually is, because the Adare, obviously I'm trying to show off the course, I'm trying to show the good stuff. I missed some of the, let's say, the bad stuff. I'm going to explain why here and just discuss where my game is. Ignore my voice, I've come down with an illness, but I'm going to try and like rest up as much as possible today and get out tomorrow for a full day of practice, because this Friday, which is in 2 days time, I'm playing 36 holes at Saunton and I'm playing with 3 other mates, but we're going to take it seriously and score. So I'm going to bring you a video of that. That's going to probably be like episode 2 of this new series, but it's going to be really good opportunity to play 36 holes competitively and see what I'm shooting around a really difficult golf course. Anyway, so the game. Very briefly, so I didn't actually finish my round scoring wise. I hit 10 greens in regulation and I hit a few fringes and I made 1 birdie. So that is not the best stat conversion wise. So the game in general, it goes as far away from the hole as possible. It hits good, and then as I get closer to the green, it slowly just gets worse basically. So when you watch, if you watch this round, like the highlights of the round at Adare, you'd probably thought that I would have shot a fairly good score. Fact is, I was a couple over after 9, just missing loads of birdie putts, and then I made like a stupid double and a bogey, which is just purely short game. And then I dropped a few on the back 9 and didn't really score over the last few holes. So with that said, you're going to see why here now. So I've compiled a little video which is about 5 minutes long, right? So bear with, but we're going to go through the round. And just to note, this is muted, so I can't hear all of the kind of like the reactions from the caddies, which are sometimes quite funny on these shots. Anyway, so start off on the first tee. Now I'm basically showing you most of the drives I've hit in the day, just to show you how well this part of the game is to, you know, start on a positive note. Now this drive on 2, this is 340 yards down the fairway. You saw my approach shot in, I'll show you what happens to that in a minute. This is an uphill par 4, like 310 yards into the wind, leave myself 60 yards, and I think you've already seen what happens there. Par 5, again, just hitting this high fade. You probably see this ball flight now. Super. If you watch that in slow motion, you'll see the ball flight. Nice high fade, middle of the fairway, set myself up. This one taking it straight over the bunkers. Ripped it again. I'm literally like hitting my driver so well. This new Epic Flash is not spinning like my last one was, so really enjoying it. This one just smashed it down over that bunker on the left. And I kind of wound up for this one, as you'll see. So I was trying to take that like over everything, didn't quite know the line, obviously the first time I've played there. And this drive down, I think it's 13, trying to hit a little slider straight into the tree, about 300 yards at the end of the fairway. And this isn't the final drive, this is the one I kind of took over everything. Medicated was like, I want to see a draw, but I just hit like this high bomby fade over everything, the hole basically. And onto 17. This is a really good tee shot as well. So now I'm going to show you some approach shots and see how, and you can see how I'm not capitalizing. So it seems to be a long approach shot's great. As it gets closer to the green, my action gets worse, and you'll see this. This was from 60 yards on the second, right? And I've just chunked it short left bunker. Now I've got a bunker shot, which is off the upslope with a lot of sand. Thinned it out, because it's all the same choppy motion, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. Chipped it back to here, and chopped it down onto the green, hold it putt for double. So 340 yards, 70 yards, make a double. That's kind of where my game's at the moment. This is a nice little approach shot, 8-iron little fade from like 170 yards, which just missed the green. Again, you're going to see this chipping action, which is just not ideal at the moment, but ended up almost holding that. Then I missed the putt, believe it or not. This was the par 5 up the hill. Just left myself 60 yards, which you should be giving yourself at the 10-foot birdie putt, like minimum. Chunked it short of the green. Lovely. As we get a bit further from the greens, this is approach to the par 5. It seems like it gets less choppy as I go back. This is just trying to hit like this 4-iron from 190 into wind, just like slide it in there. This moved like 20 yards left to right. Left side of the green, 2-putt birdie, nice and easy. And this is kind of like the range that's in between like the short stuff, which is bad. Ended up just going over the green, just going over the pin. Not bad at all. This is some short game action.
Yeah, good shot.
So yeah, that is bad. And look at this action. Right, I slow it down after this. It's so choppy. I think I've spent so long away from golf and just not having a short game action that what I think I've found myself doing is just trying to make contact by putting it back in stance and chopping down on the back of the ball. It's just not the way to go. And it's leading to a lot of errors around the greens, which I will talk about in more detail tomorrow, because I'm going to do a whole day of practice and kind of take you through what I'm working on. This was quite a sick shot actually. This moved like 30 yards right to left in the air. Ended up just short of the green. Now, it was in a position where the lie was fine and not really the hardest shot in the world, but me, back of stance chop, has 0 touch. So this ended up 30 yards by. Alright, we're going to talk about a bit of putting. So, lag putting, I am struggling to get the pace right. Obviously, the greens were better than I'm used to at the moment, but that really has nothing to do with the fact that I can't consistently roll the ball the correct distance, because I spent time on the putting green. You see a lot of lag putts left short, but watch the putting stroke. And again, I slow this one down in a minute, but there's no like consistency of rhythm in the stroke, and I did miss a few short putts as well, namely this one after chipping up on the par 3. Yep. So you see now how I'm 2 over 3-9, hitting it as well as I was off the tee and kind of like into the greens at a certain distance. This putt was quite nice, quite a nice stroke on this one. But what I'm seeing from a putting stroke is I start with my hands behind, which I kind of always have done to a certain degree. I'm like pulling it back with the hands and then giving it right hand on the way through, which is adding loft. But there's also no consistency, and you'll see here from behind, I'm also stood a bit open. I don't mind if my feet are open, but my shoulders are open, and that's bringing the putting stroke across my body. But the main thing is, if you see a good putting stroke, generally, the person I've been looking at most is Ricky Fowler in this regard, because I think he's got like technically one of the best short games in the world. If you look at the way he pitches, the way he chips, the way he putts, strokes so good. So he takes it back consistently the same on the way back and the way through. The stroke is consistent. He doesn't end up finishing. So a putting stroke should finish like here, but because my rhythm is so bad and because I'm giving it so much right hand, I end up finishing like my hands end up finishing back to the way they were. It just looks really strange, and it's exaggerated when it gets to like 30 foot. So I've got, having a look at this, I've got a lot of work to do around the greens. That's a bit of analysis from Adare. Now tomorrow, as I said, I've got a full day of practice, and I'm going to talk you through what I'm working on, because I can't really explain here short game wise what I need to do. I need to show you on the range with some slow motion stuff. So I hope you enjoyed that. A lot of work needs to be done, but promising signs in the long game, and I know what I'm doing short game wise, so there's scope for improvement.